Hello, my name is Patrick O'Connor. I am the CEO of 3AM Innovations, and today I'm going to show you how Florian is changing accountability for the fire service. Florian is a command and control software that assists with accountability. It all rolls up into one organized map screen. Now let's take a look at some of the core features. So one of the areas that Florian helps with is for proper ICS. You would have only 5 direct reports. And with that being said, you could have a lot more people on the fire ground. And so it could get actually quite noisy if you're seeing everybody at all times. So as you see over here on the right-hand side, we have the ability to roll up everyone. So now as I hit these buttons here, you can see everyone's popping out, and now also they're showing on the screen. So the data is always there. So that's where we have a common operating picture. Everyone has access to the data at any one point, but you only see the data that's important to you. And so now here we have our District 6 and then their driver. We also have Engine 3. So now Engine 3 is en route. We actually are going to send them to a very specific hydrant. So we actually want them to hit this hydrant. As soon as I hit that, as you can see, there's very specific GPS coordinates that they go to. But as soon as I hit the button there, now their MDTs on their apparatus just received those very specific GPS coordinates to go to. So now they know, and they're being routed directly to that location. So it just makes it that much easier, because right now, if you wanted to do that, you would have to get on the radio, you have to call Engine 3, and then you also have to tell them, I want you on the hydrant on the corner of Washington and Union. Well, that's all time, and now you're taking up bandwidth. Now we can do that remotely. You could have someone back at the alarm office. They can handle that for you as well. And another area that we could help with is with the actual hydrants themselves. So since, as you can see here, we have all the different hydrants that are available to you, we also could track if they are in service or they're out of service. And additionally, if you have the main size, we'll be able to show you what main line that they're on and the actual size of the main. It all comes down to the data that your municipality has and what you want to share with us. Sticking with tracking, we also have integrated 3D maps. Now this allows us to better prepare you for your en route. You have better scene size up, and you also now have the ability to see the entrance and exits of each structure. So now, not only can you plan this, we are the only ones that are allowing MDTs to have this level of detail as well. So en route, your lieutenants and your captains, they can be making their own plans of attacks immediately as well. And so now if you can see here, we'll explode out Engine 3. So now you can see their entire team as they are progressing into the structure. As you can see, they hit the hydrant here, and now they're starting to move in. We also could explode out Engine 22. Now you see that they're on the back end of the structure, and you see that they're almost ready to enter in through that door right there. So it gives you that level of situational awareness that is not available to anyone in the service in the field today. All right, so we're gonna go full screen here so you guys could see. And if you scroll down to the bottom here, you click that little bar and it pops up. And now you have all your different annotations. So we could create zones, buildings, or just scribble on the map. Right now we're going to create a zone. So I'll just call this one the hot zone. Okay. And now we could have either as operational or support. We'll leave this as operational. And also the throws, and now this is an alarm. So is it going to be a critical alarm, a warning, or a notice? The notice would be something you put on a rehab. You're going to have that for 25 minutes or so, and that way then as you're rotating guys out of in and out of service, now you'll be able to get a nice little alert saying, hey, this guy's been in there for 25 minutes, time to get him back to work. It just takes that off of your mind. You don't have to worry about it, and now the software can handle that. And anytime they walk into it, it automatically starts. But we're going to put a critical on this. Now right here, we're going to put this down to 0. Now, what that means are the second they walk into this, or if they've already been in this zone, it's going to trigger the alert. So let's do the hot zone around the church. And so now you could click, or if you want, you can do a drawing, but you can do as many points as you want, as you can see. And now as soon as I hit save, you're going to see an alert come up. So now these are all the individuals that are inside that zone, and they immediately threw in a critical alert because that's what we tied to this zone. But as you see, they were hidden, but they still popped out because it's a life safety alert. So even if they weren't in your view, they're going to explode out into your view just so we are sure that no matter where you are looking, you are able to see these people that are in a life safety zone. So now with that, I'm going to actually show you my cell phone that's sitting next to me right now. And so looking here right now, this is sitting in Buffalo. You actually see my office as we are. And now with that, we also can send myself directions. We can issue different coordinates to myself. So here I'm going to assign myself to a different team. So actually I'll put myself on engine 3. And then as soon as I hit that, so if I scroll up and explode that team out, now you can see right here, and you can see my ETA is 6 hours and 27 minutes. So we always are representing how far out your teams are and when they actually will get on scene. So even if you call for a second alarm, third alarm, you'll actually know how long it's going to take for them to get to you. But I could also give myself GPS coordinates. Same thing like as we saw with the hydrants. Let's say we take this structure here. You're going to have a very large structure. If you just put in the GPS, or actually just put in the address, it's going to give you a GPS of the front door. And so it's going to put you right here. But let's say we actually want to have someone attack on this side of the street right here. I can now send those coordinates directly to Patrick, and now I receive them on my phone. So as soon as I hit the button there, it takes me right to the mapping, and it shows me exactly where I need to go, specifically to that exact location. So we could do that with anyone and any team members that you need, but we don't expect you guys to be pulling that out in the middle of a fire. But this is for the en route. This is for incoming, and you could give them very specific locations of where you want them to stage or where you want them to actually go and stack up. So how do we actually track your firefighters on the ground? We do this through cell phones or any other device that could give us location services. But with the cell phone, it's extremely easy. You just put it in their pocket and they don't have to think about it again. But what it allows us to do is leverage AI. And what I mean by that, we could use wake words. And very similar to Google and Alexa, we're not recording, but we're just listening for certain phrases. So for example, if you're in trouble, the first thing you're going to do is say, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. And we have coded it where now that's going to trigger an alarm, and everyone on the fireground will see this. And so now that will allow you to actually find your individuals faster and know exactly where to go. So as you can see here, we just exploded out here, but now we see that Clark is in under Mayday. We click on him, and it's going to immediately teleport us right to where he is. So we just shot from Boston up to Buffalo. Obviously, it's very unlikely. But as you can see here, we know exactly where to go to get Clark. With this feature, we could greatly reduce the limitations of the two-way radios. So not only can you actually capture this, you could also see exactly where they need to go and where your teams are and how far away they are as well. So another thing I'm going to show here is back in Buffalo on my phone, I'm going to take a quick video so you get to see our camera setup. Here's Brandon. And now I'm going to send this, and you'll see on our screen in the next few seconds. So as you see, that icon populated right over my dot. But what this allows us to do is provide you the more situational awareness of where this video was taken. So if, let's just say, this was actually on the corner here, and you see the side of the building with fire coming out of the second floor, well, you know exactly what side it was on. It's on the Goodell Street. So if you click it right here, you'll see. Obviously, you're not going to hear the sound because we have it pumping through our whole system, but anyone has the ability to see these. So again, en route, any apparatus, if anyone gets on scene first, they could pop these up. Same thing if you call for a second alarm, third alarm. If there's any cameras up, if there's a drone camera, they'll be able to immediately port into those en route and see and get a better idea of what they're rolling up on. One of the last features that I'm going to show you is a really important but overlooked feature. We have the ability to issue out a FEMA alert to all of your constituents. So as you can see here, I'm going to scroll out. I'm going to create a zone, and I'm going to have it just labeled as evac. And now again, we could touch or draw. I'm going to draw real quick, so I'm just going to go along the throughways right here. So now there's my zone, and now I'm going to hit save. Now, as soon as I go back into it, we have the evacuate button here. It's grayed out right now because obviously I don't want to issue an evacuation. But what it does here is if I click on that, it will prompt me for my password. After I put that in, our software communicates with FEMA for the IPAWS, or Amber Alert for layman's terms, and then it will issue out either evacuation or shelter in place for every cell phone within this area. So the way their system works is they will communicate with Sprint, Verizon, AT&T, all the cell carriers, and say ping all your phones. If the GPS falls in this area, give them this message. we are the only company that is putting this in the hands of the fire commanders in the field. Rather than having to go through dispatch, to go through another third party, you have that ability right now to do that within seconds. Again, more efficiency, saving lives, providing more time for people to actually evacuate or shelter in place. Now, we've only touched on a few core features of Florian, but if you're interested to learn more, please visit us at 3aminnovations.com, or you could join us on our interactive webinar that we host every other week on Facebook Live. Again, my name is Patrick O'Connor, and thank you for your continued service to your communities.